Hi, my name is Simpson, and today's 1-minute high performance tip is entitled The 1%ers. Back in 1988, I was out in Australia on a Winston Churchill fellowship working at the Australian Institute of Sport and on the Gold Coast with the top level surfers there and the top level rugby coaches, and started to think about something that I termed the 1%ers. And basically the 1%ers, it works like this. It's actually similar to another video that I made recently called Marginal Gains, talking about Team Sky, the cycling team. But the 1%ers, the philosophy of it is like this, and it doesn't matter if you're in business or you're an athlete or you're a sports director of a team. I'll talk about it in the medium of sport, but you can cross it over into entrepreneurship, into business, and apply the same principles in whatever you do. Let's talk about rugby. Let's talk about every rugby player on the field. Every different position has a different role to play and has many aspects within his performance that he has to do that are slightly different from other players on the field. So let's talk about the number 9, the scrum half, the halfback. So let's assume, what does he have to do? Well, in essence, he has to put the ball into the scrum. He has to pass the ball left. He has to pass the ball right. He has to kick. He has to do different kinds of kicks. He has to make decisions as to whether to kick, whether to pass left, pass right, run open, run blind, etc. Now, if you can imagine that if that number 9, he takes every aspect of his game and he works on it in the training sessions to saturation point where he is able to improve that significantly, every aspect of his game. And let's say improve it marginally, let's say by 1%. Okay, so if there's 10 aspects of his play and he improves them all by 1%, that means he should be playing 10% better. Now, if he does that and his opponent doesn't, that means he should be theoretically playing 10% better than his opponent, which means he should get the upper hand on his opponent. Yeah, that makes mathematical sense. Yeah, so imagine 15 players on the team who are all able to do the same thing, so they all improve in 10 aspects of their individual play by 1%. They should be playing 10% better than their opposite number. So if you've got 15 players playing 10% better than the opposing 15, you should be playing 150% better than them. Theoretically, it doesn't quite work like that, but you get the point. You should win, or you should have a much better chance of winning, just by simply focusing on the 1%ers and trying to play 10 or 15% better than your opposite number. Compound that by having 15 players do it, and you should win. In principle, that is what the 1%ers is. So think about your business or your team, whatever aspect you're working in, and try and think what the 1%ers are, and then apply that principle to what you do, and then see if you can create a significant improvement.